Call to order for Town of Prescott Valley regular council meeting, April 25th, 2019. And tonight's an important night for those that know that I'm a huge Cardinals fan. And tonight's the draft. So, so if by chance anyone hears who we draft number one, be sure to come on up on comments to the public. Love to hear from you. So, I'd like to invite Pastor Don to come on up for the invocation. And then after Pastor Don, Anna Marie, if you would please lead us in the pledge. Sound good? Thanks.
Now that we know that our mayor has gone to the birds. Loving Heavenly Father, we beseech you. And we thank you that before we do our business, we do business with you. Because you have all the knowledge that we need. And so we humble ourselves before you and say, in our bank account, we're bankrupt. But with you, we have bountiful riches that help us beyond our own abilities. Father, bless this council, not only with wisdom, but with health, with unity of purpose for this town as we progress. We thank you for all those who are finding their way to this beautiful town to settle in, to call it home. Help us with the resources that you have given us, especially our water. Thank you for the great snows that you've given us this past winter and the recharging of our water systems. We ask you to please watch over our first responders as they deal with the responsibilities of this town. All those who serve our town in the various capacities, Lord God, that you would bless them with wisdom as they do their job as unto you. And we ask all these things in your precious name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Come on up. Just go into the microphone and start us off.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Palguda.
Present.
Vice Mayor Nye.
Here.
Councilmember Anderson.
Here.
Councilmember Grossman.
Still here.
Councilmember Mallory.
Here.
Councilmember Schumacher.
Here.
And Councilmember Packard.
Present.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thanks, ma'am. We're going to start off with proclamation, and the first one tonight will be Kids to Park Day.
Damn.
Ready?
Ready, ma'am.
Kids to Parks Day, May the 18th, 2019. Whereas May 18th, 2019 is the 9th Kids to Parks Day organized and launched by the National Park Trust, held annually on the third Saturday of May. And whereas Kids to Parks Day empowers kids and encourages families, to get outdoors and visit America's parks. And whereas it is important to introduce a new generation to our nation's parks, and whereas we should encourage children to lead a more active lifestyle to combat the issues of childhood obesity, diabetes mellitus, hypertension, and hypercholesteremia. That's a long one, sorry. Whereas Kids to Parks Day is open to all children and adults across the country to encourage a large and diverse group of participants, and whereas Kids to Parks Day will broaden children's appreciation for nature and outdoors, now therefore I, Cal Palguda, Mayor of the Town of Prescott Valley, do hereby declare May 18th, 2019 as Kids to Parks Day, and urge the residents of Prescott Valley to make time on this declared day to take the children in their lives to a neighborhood, state, or national park.
Thank you, ma'am. And we'll turn it over to Mr. Whitty. He's going to say a couple words, and I'm sure there's plenty to say about our parks.
Well, I tell you what, truthfully, every day is National Take Your Kids to Parks Day, so to add much more to that would be rather limited. So I encourage everyone to jump out there. Want to say a big thank you to all of our partners that are out there, all of our different youth organizations that help us do these things, get our young people active, engaged out there. But there's also some very nice leisure opportunities. As Council's well aware of, we have a partnership with Game and Fish. Coming up this Saturday is our Badges and Bobbers and Global Fever Day, so make sure we jump out there. The great thing about that is it's entirely free. So that's a yes, ma'am. Favorite four-letter word for Councilwoman Nye. So those are some of the fun things. We'll have a couple hundred fourth graders out tomorrow morning with us for Arbor Day. So we'll be celebrating that as well, too. So there are opportunities abound for our young people and families here in Prescott Valley with our park system. So make this part of a treasured activity out there, whether it be in Prescott Valley, our state parks, or our national parks. We encourage you all to get out.
That's terrific. Actually, about 10 minutes before I even got here, I was down at Mountain Valley Park where there was about 200 kids playing Little League baseball and softball, so it was awesome. Just get a picture real quick. Moving on to our next one. Clerk, will you please read National Water Safety Month?
National Water Safety Month, May 2019. Whereas the citizens of Prescott Valley recognize that swimming and aquatic-related activities relate to good physical and mental health and enhance the quality of life for all people, and whereas the citizens of Prescott Valley understand the essential role that water safety education plays in preventing drowning and recreational water-related injuries, and whereas the citizens of Prescott Valley are aware of the contributions made by the recreational water industry as represented by the organizations involved in the National Water Safety Month Coalition in developing safe swimming facilities, aquatic programs, home pools and spas, and related activities providing healthy places to recreate, learn and grow, build self-esteem, confidence, and sense of self-worth, which contributes to the quality of life in our community. And whereas the citizens of Prescott Valley recognize the ongoing efforts and commitment to educate the public on pool and spa safety issues and initiatives by the pool, spa, water park recreation, and parks industries, and whereas the citizens of Prescott Valley understand the vital importance of communicating water safety rules and programs to families and individuals of all ages, whether owners of private pools, users of public swimming facilities, or visitors to natural resources. Now, therefore, I, Cal Palguda, Mayor of the Town of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2019 as National Water Safety Month in Prescott Valley and urge all citizens to support and promote this observance.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Whitty, anything else on this?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to let everyone know that Saturday, May 25th, our Mountain Valley Splash will open for the 2019 season. The weekend before that, we'll be opening up for first session swim lessons as well. As one of our favorite weathermen down in the valley always reminds us to keep our kids safe around water. He's a great spokesman for this opportunity, and that's exactly what we're talking about. We need to keep our young people and our community as a whole safe, so come out, enjoy a variety of different activities, but swim lessons is number one, and Water Safety Month is our awareness campaign.
Thank you, sir. The next one will be a day of celebration of literacy success. Clerk?
A day of celebration of literacy success, May 18th, 2019. Whereas our community is welcoming many new neighbors from countries and cultures throughout the world, people for whom English may not be their first language, And whereas some adults, due to learning disabilities in childhood, did not have educational opportunities, and whereas Dorothy Score recognized the need for literacy education in the community circa 1980, and whereas literacy is vital to an informed and participatory citizenry, and whereas Prescott Chino Valley Library has had a literacy program since 1980, and whereas there are currently 65 tutors and helpers and 58 students in the literacy program, and whereas literacy tutors are urging the public to recognize the value of delivering this service to the community, and furthermore, literacy tutors wish to recognize the diligence of their adult learners in the literacy program. Now, therefore, I, Cal Palguda, Mayor of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim May 18th a day of celebration of literacy success.
Thank you for doing that. My name is Kathy Lewis. I'm the director of the literacy program here in Prescott Valley. We also cover the Prescott Library and the Chino Valley Library. We teach adults 18 and older who are no longer in school English if they've come from other countries and they need to learn English as a second language. We also teach adults, Americans who do not know how to read, write, or spell or need help. They are matched one-on-one with a tutor who is a volunteer. I call this program the Shifting Sands because we're all volunteers, including myself. And there's always people coming and going all the time. But it's a lot of fun. We are celebrating the success of our students. One of our tutors here, Lucy, who came with me today, came up with the idea of honoring all of the hard work that the students have put forth in becoming better at their abilities, and also the hard work of the tutors who meet with them once a week on a weekly basis for about an hour at a time, and the people who are dyslexic have to meet with their tutor twice a week because they need that kind of reinforcement. So this is the first time we've done this. We have had a wonderful response, and we're really excited to offer lunch to the people that are attending our celebration. And so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Lucy, do you want to come on up? Like to say anything?
Well, I will. It has been an absolute joy to be a literacy tutor. My student and I have been together for 4 years, and she's made huge progress, and I just felt like we needed a forum to acknowledge that.
Do you ladies feel like you open a new world to them? I know that's a grandiose statement, but I did some of this volunteering in Phoenix, and that's what a couple people said to me. So I'm glad to have that validated.
Our next one will be Mental Health Month. Clerk?
Mental Health Month for Mind and for Body, May 2019. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, all Americans experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives, and prevention is an effective way to reduce the burden of mental health conditions. And where there is strong research that animal companionship, humor, spirituality, religion, recreation, social connections, and work-life balance can help all Americans protect their health and well-being. And whereas mental health conditions are real and prevalent in our nation, and with effective treatment, those individuals with mental health and other chronic conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. And whereas each business, school, government agency, health care provider, organization and citizen shares the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental wellness and support prevention efforts. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Cal Palguda, Mayor of the Town of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim May 2019 as Mental Health Month in the Town of Prescott Valley and call upon the citizens in Prescott Valley to recommit to community in increasing awareness and understanding of mental health, the steps our citizens can take to protect their mental health, and the need for appropriate and accessible services for all people with mental health conditions, and to join Southwest Behavioral and Health Services in their vision of eradicating the stigma that is related to those who struggle with behavioral health issues.
Do we have anyone here to receive this? Well, then I'll share a little bit. I served 20 years in the mental health field, and many of my friends told me I was right where I belonged because I worked in a hospital. But what I want to share with you is watching people's lives who they thought were destroyed and that they had no value to the community any longer turn around and become vibrant citizens. And that's what mental health care is about. So I applaud everyone who works in the field, and I thank them from personal knowledge.
All right, now we got some special guests here I think we're going to be bringing up. National Therapy Animal Day. So come on up.
Oh,
Yeah,
everybody can see it.
You guys just want to come right across.
So everybody can see the doggies. You can stay where you are, darling.
Good job, Brady. Yeah, no, you can come right up here.
No, I'm just saying.
Clerk, go ahead and read the proclamation.
Pet Partners National Therapy Animal Day, April the 30th, 2019. Whereas there are thousands of Pet Partners therapy animal teams serving in communities across the United States, and they have designated April the 30th as National Therapy Animal Day. And whereas Pet Partner therapy animal teams in the town of Prescott Valley play an essential role in improving human health and well-being through the human-animal bond. And whereas Pet Partners therapy animal teams make millions of visits per year in settings such as hospitals, nursing homes, schools, and hospice, they interact with a variety of people in our community, including veterans, seniors, patients, students facing literacy challenges, and those approaching end of life. And whereas those exceptional therapy dogs and animals who partner with their human companions bring comfort and healing to those in need, now therefore be it resolved that I, Cal Palguda, Mayor of the town of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim April 30th, 2019, excuse me a minute, I'm losing my voice. Do hereby proclaim April 30th, 2019 as National Therapy Animal Day in the town of Prescott Valley and encourage our citizens to celebrate our therapy animals and their human handlers. Further, I publicly salute the service of therapy animal teams in our community and in communities across the nation.
Great, thank you. I'll leave it up to you, ma'am, to introduce both the...
Damn, you're still calling me that?
I am.
It's ingrained.
Apparently it is. Thank you. We certainly do appreciate the recognition. Just to let everyone know, Pet Partners of Prescott is a relatively new organization. While Pet Partners is a national organization, we just recently formed our chapter here. We have approximately 25 therapy teams. You'll see several of them represented here. As a therapy dog team, we visit places to help bring some joy to life, some stress relief, as we heard about Mental Health Month, and all in recognition. We do that as well. The teams that you see here visit a variety of places. We visit YRMC East and West. We are visiting the Prescott Unified School District, some of the schools there. We visit Pineview Adult Care, the VA Medical Center, And Don is also one of our therapy team handlers. Jake and Sailor are his therapy dogs, and we tried to get him to bring his dogs with him. But he would have needed a dog sitter, so he's dogless this evening. But Cruiser loves him. Family Home Hospice. Actually, Cruiser and I visit the PV Civic Center once a week, and we try to provide some stress relief to the employees here. And every now and then, especially up on the 4th floor, he loves going into Ivan's office because apparently as town attorney, Ivan could use some stress relief, right? We also visit Marley House, the Chino Valley schools, as well as juvenile detention, and we're hoping to break into Humboldt Unified School District here pretty soon. There are clinical studies that do show the animal-human bond is absolutely phenomenal when it comes to health, for both the health of the people as well as the health of the animals. And it's so important for us to bring that forward. We have with us tonight, first off, my name is Laura, and I've been around for a little while. Some of you may know me. Hi, Scott. And this is Cruiser. Cruiser is a res dog. He came off of the res in New Mexico. You'll notice he's a tripod. They believe he was struck by a vehicle, and United Animal Friends picked him up. We have Lana and Tama. Where's Lana? There. And Tama. We have Deb and Megan. We have Lori and Bailey. Bailey's just a fabulous pup. That poodle is just amazing. Bailey and Cruiser, I think, are best friends. They just love to play outside. And then we have Pat and Riot down here as well. So this is just a small representation of Pet Partners of Prescott. We take in the Quad City area. We do live in all the 4 different locations, 4 different cities and towns. And we are open to a lot of different places that may not have therapy dog teams coming in yet. So if you are interested, you can see one of us afterwards when we're finished. We've got some business cards. You can also contact Don. He'd be more than happy to help you.
Laura, do you train great-grands? They're better behaved than my great-grands.
Well, actually, they are pretty good.
Awesome.
If everybody come over here,
Wake up, Riot.
that is one relaxed therapy dog.
Dogs will smile.
That's too funny. Oh. Too cute.
You're all charmers, I can tell.
No, I mean the one up, the gray one. Front one. John, what's the long-haired cat?
She's a beaut, though.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to item 6, schedule announcements and presentations. First up will be Teacher of the Year nominees and students. Who do we have representing for that?
Jim.
I think you're up, Mr. Streeter.
I thought I had no responsibilities whatsoever. Okay, teachers need to come up, and Jim Clemens needs to come up. And principals. Now, I'm actually going to turn this over to Jim Clemens, who is part of the Humboldt Education Foundation and chaired this year's Teacher of the Year banquet. So, Jim?
You didn't tell me I was going to have to speak. But this year we had a great event. We had over 200 people at the event. Cal was there. And we just really want to thank all the sponsors that helped us in this year's event. And I'll let them introduce themselves. But before they get up here, it's all about the teachers. And then even after the event, we've raised enough money that we will do teacher grants and scholarships throughout next year. So we're very pleased about that, and just looking forward to another great event next year. So I'm going to have you all come up and introduce yourself.
Good job, Jim.
Come on, ladies.
Good evening. My name is Amy Fleming. I'm the proud principal at Lake Valley Elementary School, and our Teacher of the Year is Miss Morgan Peterson, second grade teacher, and she was nominated by a fifth grade student that had her a few years ago, but she left that kind of lasting impression. So this is our
Miss Grant.
I am Kim Grant, principal at Mountain View Elementary School, and this is Shannon Gantz. She's a fifth grade teacher and was nominated by one of her students because of all the care that she gives to them.
Excellent.
Good evening. Danette Derrickson, principal at Liberty Traditional School. And this is Troy Carreras. He's one of our fourth grade teachers, nominated by one of our fifth grade students who had him last year. And just her letter was one that said how much she loved him because he was always caring, compassionate, calm, and quiet. So.
Excellent.
Fort Minor Principal, Brash Mountain High School. We had Dave Kapka, our CT instructor at the high school, also softball coach, who was Brash Mountain High School's Teacher of the Year.
Excellent.
And I am Dan Streeter. I am not the principal at Coyote Springs Elementary School, but I will stand in for Candace, where Coyote was able to recognize Jennifer Ruiz, who is one of the outstanding teachers on that campus that really does a phenomenal job of focusing our students on those skills that are needed beyond content knowledge. You start talking about the 4 C's. Coyote Springs has always led the way, and Jennifer's one of those teachers that does that for us. So please.
Thank you. As Jim mentioned, I was there that night, and just listening to each of the letters that were read, I truly believe it was probably the hardest decision because every single person that was nominated, and I'm sure there was a laundry list of other teachers that easily could have been up there as well, and it was just truly amazing just to hear the impact they had on each of those students throughout the day. I know you guys hear it all the time, and it's a thankless job, and people take teachers for granted every single day, and I just want to thank you for what you guys do. So.
Mr. Mayor, I want to thank the town. Just the relationship that the school district has with the town, I think is something that should be held up for other places to see. The support from Council Member Grossman, who's at all of our board meetings, has always been a part of our advisory committees. Laura Lee, who was a key driver in the development of our strategic plan. Rick Anderson, who was really one of the founding members of the Humboldt Education Foundation and helped get that started. And then to be able to welcome Mayor Palguda, not just to the position of mayor, but into our district as he mentioned at that event as well. So we thank you for that. We do have a couple teachers that aren't here because it doesn't end. We have teachers that are currently on student council leadership trips, on athletic events, so this isn't everybody that was recognized that night. But we do thank you guys for recognizing our teachers.
Absolutely.
This is how you fix this.
Guys, notice how orderly this went? I mean, these teachers were right on point with this picture.
Larry was out of it, right?
I am out of it. But that was a nice smile. It's perfect.
He didn't even photobomb.
Now, with that being said, we'll be moving on to item B. Councilman Grossman will be presenting Student of the Month, Anna Marie Zaya. Hopefully I said that correctly.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Once again, we have our Student of the Month. Okay, the Student Month, the Optimist Club of Yavapai County, in collaboration with Bradshaw Mountain High School and the town of Prescott Valley, are honoring the outstanding student for April, Anna Maria Zaya. This honor is being presented because of the nomination and recommendation of her school staff and instructors at Bradshaw Mountain High School. Again, I've said this before and I will keep saying it. This is not a popularity contest. This is a person who has exemplified themselves in the eyes of their teachers, instructors, and school staff. So that's where it comes from. And I'm going to read her bio. We asked her to write it, so I'm going to read it. It's a little long, but when you hear it, you'll understand why I really want to get this out there. She is an incredible student. Before I start reading it, it's just another student that is well-rounded in the school and the community, extracurricular activities, and when I finish reading it, you'll understand. My name is Anna Maria Zaya. I am 17 years old and a senior at Bradshaw Mountain High School. I have attended Bradshaw Mountain for 2 years, my junior and senior year. I have participated in cross-country all 4 years and have been on the varsity team all 4 years. Also, all 4 years, I received Most Valued Athlete Awards for the female in cross-country. I made it to the state championships my sophomore year and junior year, missed it my senior year by only 2 seconds due to an ongoing injury previously in the season, and a nasty fall during the sectionals race. She claims she still has a scar from that. I have also participated in track and field all 4 years of high school and been on the varsity team all 4 years. I have received Most Valued Freshman and Most Valued Sophomore for the females in track. My main event in track is the 1600, which I believe is a mile, right? Okay. But I also participate regularly in the 4x800, which is the relay race, the 800, and the 3200, which is 2 miles. Anyway, I have also participated in 300-meter hurdles and pole vault. Okay. That's the comment I made to you earlier. Anyway, I have also learned the basics of throwing a javelin and discus, even though I have never competed in those events. I also helped at the Special Olympics and many middle school track meets. My senior year, I participated in Powder Puff, which you'll have to explain to us later. We lost, but I still had a lot of fun. I played a small part in helping start up of a girls wrestling team. That team is still in the works and is currently only a club that really needs coaches and sponsors. I became a black belt in Taekwondo before high school, but I like to teach my girlfriends some simple moves so they can kick serious anyway, if need be. I worked at my grandma's food bank in Chino Valley almost every weekend my freshman and sophomore years of high school. The smell of those potatoes still haunt me. With my church, I went on a mission trip to an orphanage on the reservation called Naomi House and made lunch and dinner, played with the kids, and handed out gifts. In the summer between my junior and senior year, I helped at an elementary school in Prescott by painting classrooms. During the fall break of my senior year, I went on a road trip to Oregon to help my great-aunt deep clean her house after her crazy neighbor invaded her house. I have maintained mostly all A's in my classes. I have taken all the required math, English, science, and history classes. I have taken weight training for both my years at Bradshaw. I am in an advanced ceramics art class where I have made bowls and cups and fairy houses and animals. I took a medieval and Civil War history class. I am in technical theater and know how to properly coil a rope or cord. I haven't received any outstanding awards for my art, but a few pieces have been displayed at the public library at some point. And finally, I have received Student of the Month, which I never imagined I would receive. I also have her grade scores, but I'll let her principal, Cord Minor, talk about that. As you can see after reading this, she is an incredibly well-rounded student, and we expect great things from her in the future. So here is Principal Cord Minor, and then I will take the phone back after that.
Thank you, Councilman Grossman. Mayor Palguda, Vice Mayor Nye, council members, distinguished guests, my name is Court Minor, proud principal of Brasher Mountain High School, and it's my pleasure tonight to introduce you to Anna Z. Anna is just a ball of energy. If you just take a look at her, she's a ball of energy with a big smile. Everywhere she goes, she brings positivity with her. She is an office aide for us, and she does anything and everything that is asked of her, and I appreciate my staff noticing all the extra work that she does both at school and outside of school. But if you listen to Councilman Grossman's speech there from her, she's a helper. She's about helping people, and she's done an incredible job. In fact, the front office staff asked me to fail her this year so they could have her back for next year, but her parents aren't going to let that happen. She's just that big of help and just such a positive student. She's given student tours on our campus, as well as helped us with a myriad of different things that you have to do as a TA in the front office. So this won't surprise you. She's going to graduate with a we're in our 8th semester, so at the end of 7, she had a 3.927 GPA. She is ranked 20th out of 365 seniors. She's in the top 5% of her class. She'll be heading off to NAU to get her nursing degree, and then from there she'll join the Air Force, and she wants to be a flight nurse, which doesn't surprise me in terms of all the help that she provides on campus. She's just a caring human being. However, she did surprise me when she says if she didn't get to be a flight nurse, she just wants to join the Marines and drive a tank. So, again, with her personality, not real surprised. So I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Grossman here so he can present the award, and then we'll introduce Anna Z.
Usually at this point I introduce Butch Miller, who is the president of the Optimist Club, and unfortunately he couldn't be here tonight. So I have the distinct honor of, step forward a little bit. Okay, we have this award for you at the Optimist Club of Yavapai County, to all, certified to all, that Anna Maria Zaya has been named April Student of the Month, and it's signed by Butch. Actually, this one's signed by Mike, I think. Anyway, and they also have for you a paperweight. I understand it makes a good walnut cracker, but no. you could use it however you want, but display it proudly. You earned it. And now, please say a few words, and if you like, bring up your parents and introduce them to us, please.
Come on, Mom and Dad.
Come on.
Hello. I would like to thank the town of Prescott Valley and the Optimist Club for honoring me here tonight. I'd also like to thank all the staff, Mr. Minor here, and the teachers at Brasher Mountain High School for helping me through school, basically, and helping with my good grades, and my mom and dad here for pushing me through all of my extracurricular activities and also my grades. And so, thank you.
Would either of you like to say a few words? And as you could see through all that, with all the work that she's done, she's still very humble in her words and her presentation. So, congratulations! Thank you very much. You earned it. Sorry. Oops.
Come on, Mrs. Streeter. Great job. Good job, Anna. Go Lumberjacks. Next up, the one and only Mr. Brady Cabral with the Chamber of Commerce.
Evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Brady. I am your Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce chamber guy. I am here tonight to do a couple of things. First, I would like to present a living example of the growth in the business community in Prescott Valley. I would like to introduce Georgia Atwell. She is a beauty expert and independent sales director with Mary Kay.
Hello, my name is Georgia Atwell, and I'm going to try to play with this just a little bit. And my husband and I are excited to be here in Prescott Valley because we love the mountains, we love the clean air, and we're super excited about trying our first hike. Walking first, and then we'll get brave and get some bikes and be able to enjoy all that Prescott Valley has to offer. But let me ask you, have you ever felt like your skin was dull or dry, or maybe you wanted to do something different with your eyebrows, or I know maybe not the men, but or try a new foundation and just didn't know where to start? Well, that's what I'm here for. I offer a 1-hour free skincare and makeup session where you get to try before you buy. Of course, I'm going to do everything in my power to tempt you. My hopes are that you fall in love with our products, my services, and with me. My goal is to empower women to look and feel their beautiful best, not just on their wedding day, but every day. And in addition, I will share with you the purpose behind the product, knowing that with Mary Kay, P&L doesn't stand for profit and loss. It stands for people and love. You can reach me on my business Facebook page. It's Georgia Atwell, kind of long, advanced color and skincare certified beauty consultant. There you can like my business Facebook page, and you can email or get in contact with me by phone. Thank you for having me this evening.
Oh, great. Thank you, ma'am, for coming, and thank you for the little gift.
We've got a beauty consultation, me and her, later. So I'm also here to present some events that the Chamber has coming up. On May the 4th, Star Wars Day, we are doing a Team Up to Clean Up event in partnership with the town of Prescott Valley as well as CAFMA. We are cleaning up Prescott Valley. If there is a road, a street, a community, a park that you think needs a little TLC, this is your opportunity to get out there in full force. The following weekend of May 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, we're calling May 9th the weekend. We have Prescott Valley Days. We are celebrating, we are putting on Ranch to Table on May 9th. It is a premier event celebrating agriculture in and around Prescott Valley. And then May 10th, we've got Fiesta del Pueblo. May 11th, we've got a lot of things going on, but I'm most excited about our wild wing eating contest, which we hope lots of people come out for. But we are just going to be celebrating Prescott Valley that entire weekend, and we hope everybody will join us. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, we'll see all of you at Team Up to Clean Up.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. We'll see you guys next weekend. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Freddie. Moving on to item 7, council comments.
I have some, and Marty, I've saved some for you.
Take it away.
Do what you can.
Yeah, Mr. Whitty mentioned our Gold Fever Days. I just want to give you some facts. That will be Saturday, this coming Saturday, 27th. That would be from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. The Badgers and Bobbers, did we tell you it was free? Fishing for free? We got to say free. That will be from 10 to 1. And it's really important that you know that we have ADA shuttles that will help people get to the park because there won't be any room to park in the park. And they will be right there at the corner of 5th and 2nd Streets. I want to tell you also the Movies Under the Stars are coming back. That begins on May 24th through June 28th. Anybody here go to the drive-in movie last year? At the event, woohoo, yeah. Well, we're going to have that again on May 31st. That's not all. We have this wonderful theater on the green. We have concerts there. Concerts. And that begins on May 25th. That's from 5 to 7. Dancing on the green is encouraged. And Father's Day weekend is a really special concert time. There's also going to be a car show. So you've got to mark those dates down. We're hopping in the old town tonight. And I'll bet you know a lot about golf and balls.
Yeah, but I got the pinwheels first.
Go for it.
Okay, like Laura Lee said, Saturday we have the Gold Fever Day and Badgers and Bobbers. But at 11 o'clock that morning, we have the pinwheel, which is, we're planting the pinwheels right out here in the Civic Center, correct? And that's for prevent child abuse. It's a huge problem nationwide, and we've been doing this for several years now, and it just brings out that no community is immune from these acts of violence against children. And so there'll be a lot of people out there to give you all the information you need if you have any questions. The pinwheel display, it's the small pinwheels. We plant them in the ground, and we'll also have people who were victims talk about it. Then Sunday, we have the Prescott Valley Police Foundation has their golf tournament and ball drop. I believe, I'm not sure if there are any openings left for the golf, but I know they have available where you could buy raffle tickets. Basically, they're going to do a ball drop closest to the hole. Depending on how many balls are sold, you get half the price, basically. Anyway, that is on the Prescott Valley Police Foundation website and also on their Facebook page, the information for that. And for those of you that are interested, the Firefighter Angel Pancake Breakfast is also taking place from at 8 o'clock that morning at the training center on Valley Road. Let's see. And then the other item after that is that I'm involved with is Memorial Day weekend. We are going to have the Prescott Valley Grand Prix. If you haven't seen it before, it's a lot of fun watching 8- and 9-year-olds on 80cc and 100cc bicycles going around a 2-mile dirt course that have berms that are, 45-degree angle, 30-degree angle, where gravity and centrifugal force play major factors. But it's a 2-mile course. I will be one of the MCs. I was last year. It was a lot of fun. I'll be teamed up with a gentleman named Mark Wright. And it's a fun family event. It is $10 to get in. It's $5 for children 6 to 12, and under 5 is free. So all that information is available online. You go to azopracing.com. And believe it or not, that's all I have.
Wowzers. Councilwoman?
Yes, so I would like to let you know that, of course, we have Memorial Day coming up. It will be May 28th. And as we have done in the past, we put up a field of flag that represents soldiers from Arizona that have given the ultimate sacrifice for the freedoms that we have, the very freedom that we have tonight as we sit here and have speech and sit safe and sound. So please, on May 24th, we will be putting those flags up. We will have bios of those brave men and women. And I encourage you to come out and help us. Be about approximately 350 flags at this time. The field will be up from May 24th until May 29th. Time for setup and all that will be more in the next weeks to come. But I do want to put it out there on your calendars. And then we will be having a service on Memorial Day right here out on the lawn at the theater, and we'll give you a more update time on that as well. So we thank you, and we look forward to having you there.
Great. If there's nothing else, Moving on to item number 8, consent agenda. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the town council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately for discussion and possible action. Item A, approving the April 4th, 2019 council and work study minutes and April 11th, 2019 work study minutes. Item B, accepting the easement for the Civic Drive Improvement Project, CIP number S422. Item C, approving an extension of grant agreement completion date for the PRAMA 4th Management Plan Outreach Brochure to December 31st, 2019. Item D, approving an extension of Arizona Water Protection Fund grant agreement to September 30th, 2020. Item E, approving an ICAC fund reimbursement from the Prescott Valley Police Department to the Phoenix PD Task Force. Item F, approving a public utility easement across 2 town parcels, parcel number 103-38-715 and parcel 103-38-716 for maintenance and operation of streetlights on town property located at the corner of Spouse and Viewpoint for approval and conveyance of these easements to Arizona Public Service. Item G, approving a budget transfer from the customer accounts banking services account in the amount of $18,000 to the customer accounts building renovation account. Item H, approving the professional service agreement with Pros Consulting in the amount of $109,312 for the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. Item I, department reports. Item J, accounts payable. And item K, monthly financial report. Does any council person wish to remove an item?
If not, Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion.
Go ahead.
I'd like to second.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
Sorry about that. And I'd like to make a second.
Clerk, with a motion and a second, will you please call the vote? Am I not logged in?
Passes unanimously, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Move on to item 9, new business. Item A is consideration of approving contingency funding for the purchase of a PANT vehicle with ancillary equipment for not more than $24,000. Chief?
Mayor, Council, tonight I bring a PowerPoint. The request tonight here is for contingency funds to purchase a replacement vehicle for use by our PANT detective, and I hope when I'm done you'll see why. So, real quick, Partners Against Drunk Driving, it's a Partners Against Narcotics Trafficking, is a multi-jurisdictional task force responsible for enforcement and investigation of state and federal drug offenses in Yavapai County. It operates under the command of the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office. They have 1 lieutenant, and with oversight of a board consisting of the chief executives from each partner agency. I am currently the co-chair of that board. Partner agencies include Prescott Valley, Yavapai County Sheriff's Office, Prescott, Chino Valley, Cottonwood, Camp Verde Marshal's Office, and Sedona. The PANT lieutenant oversees 2 sergeants and 10 detectives. PANT is proactive with undercover narcotic stings, interstate highway narcotics interdictions, and community outreach and education efforts. Prescott Valley has provided staffing to PANT since its inception in 1988. This is a picture of the current vehicle that's used by our PANT detective. It's a 2007 Toyota Tundra pickup with just over 120,000 miles on it. I'm going to go through a laundry list of mechanical and safety issues that have a direct correlation to the health and safety of our officer. The suspension is failing, it's quite noisy, and frequently bottoms out. The airbags, I don't even know why it's on the list, they don't work, they're inoperable. Tires are almost completely bald and have not been replaced in at least 9 years. 3 of the 4 tires have either nails or screws lodged in them. The vehicle does not have any emergency equipment like the overhead or red and blue lights or anything like that. The air conditioner is barely working and in the middle of the summer does not cool the truck down. Our mechanic believes that the fuel pump is about to fail, and it has a cracked windshield, which is also a violation of the Motor Vehicle Code of the state. The vehicle was involved in a shooting and currently has 2 bullet holes in the driver's door and the tailgate. That's the one in the door. The rear driver's door does not open. The rear driver's side passenger door does not open due to heavy damage, and it's been involved in several on-scene or on-duty collisions. This obviously creates a safety hazard. So let me tell you a quick story. A few months back, Pant detectives went to a location just outside of Cottonwood. They were going to serve a search warrant, and as soon as they pulled up, they misjudged where the house was, and they accidentally pulled up right in front of it. And as soon as they did, they started taking rounds and gunfire from the residents. My detective at the time, Ryan Spriggs, actually had to lay down behind the tire of the vehicle because he was in a position of unable to return fire, but he was vulnerable, and so he had to hide behind the tire of this truck as it took the damage. These are some pictures of the damage of the vehicle. This is what renders the passenger door unable to be opened. So why is this a big deal? So this is the door that doesn't open. If detectives pull up to a location to serve a search warrant or do whatever, and somebody opens fire on them like they did in Cottonwood, you would want to exit the vehicle, in this case, on the driver's side. The problem is, if there's anybody in the back seat, they can't get out that door, so they would have to exit into the field of fire. Not what we would want. Some additional concerns. Numerous suspects have told detectives that most of the drug dealers and users in the area know that this vehicle is driven by a Pant detective. The vehicle has been driven for over 9 years. And interestingly, we can't get informants to get into the truck because they know it's known and they don't want to be seen in it. So while driving around and we're trying to maybe conduct some surveillance at known locations, people will actually come out and start taking photographs of the truck. So in the end, we have a truck that doesn't work. It's a safety hazard, and it is not effective for the job it is intended for. So we need something new or newer or different. So we considered one possibility, but we figured that might be too conspicuous as well. So what we're going to do is we're looking at a newer model SUV or pickup. We're not exactly sure. The $24,000 would be used to purchase the vehicle and equip it with emergency and communications equipment. We're going to work with a local dealership, but beyond that, I really don't want to go into a lot of specifics. I know the RFCA gave some specifics, and I can tell you that I don't know if that's exactly the vehicle that we're going to be looking at. But again, I don't really want to tell you what we're going to look at or buy, because then that kind of defeats the purpose of being undercover. So with that, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you.
Will the old truck go back to auction?
It'll be turned back in. It's a RICO forfeiture vehicle, so it would go back to the forfeiture lot. And if somebody wanted it, go for it.
Fair enough. I think this is a no-brainer, Chief, so.
Yeah, I'll have a motion, somebody.
Can I have a motion?
What are you doing?
Okay, I'll make a motion. I make a motion to authorize necessary transfers from contingency funding to purchase a Pant vehicle with ancillary equipment for not more than $24,000 by electronic vote.
I'd like to make a second. Sorry.
Clerk, with a motion and a second, please call the vote.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Chief. Item B is consideration of approving the award of a construction contract to the lowest responsive bidder, Copper State Paving and Construction, LLC, in an amount up to $526,143.70 for the Civic Drive Sidewalk Project, CIP number S422.
Mayor, Council, good evening. Just to do a brief overview of what was presented last week on the Civic Drive Improvement Project. The exhibit you see here just shows the extent of the project. In yellow would be what would be the contribution from the town and from Community Development Block Grant funding in the amount of $300,000. And the scope of that project would be to widen either the west or the north side of the roadway, curb gutter and sidewalk, some minor drainage improvements, and some street lighting. What you see in blue would be a contribution from Yavapai County. They own the empty lot right there in the corner. And through the efforts of Supervisor Jack Smith, working with Kenny Van Kuren, who's the facilities director, and Phil Bordone, who's the county manager, they were able to come up with $106,000 in monies to put towards the project. And so the area in blue will be basically what would mirror what's in front of the school right there. It'd be a little bit of additional paving, some angled parking, curb gutter, sidewalk there as well, and some street lighting in there as well. So this is just a couple of quick exhibits to just show you what we do with the grant funding when we get it. I believe this is the third or fourth year in a row that we've received grant funding. And so this is our 2017 project. And this is right in front of the Liberty School where we added an additional southbound lane, curb gutter and sidewalk improvements there, and also street lighting. And the street lighting that you see here will be the street lighting that will be put on the project as well. This is our 2018 project, grant funded as well. This will pretty much mirror what we have, what we're going to do on Civic Drive. This is Long Look. You can see where we widened some of the roadway, added curb gutter and sidewalk there, made that a 3-lane configuration, which is what we will be doing on Civic Drive as well. This is just a mock-up of the project sign, and it shows all the project partners. The Arizona Department of Housing. You've got Yavapai County there, Copper State Paving, who we want to be the low bid contractor, and Kimberly Horn, the engineer. And so I'm here to recommend award of the construction contract to Copper State Paving and Construction. They were the low bid on the contract in the amount of $526,143.70.
Great, thank you, sir.
With that, questions?
We really got into it last week at the work study. So if anybody out there thinks we don't have questions, we had them last week.
Correct.
We ready for the motion?
So with that being said, yes.
A motion to approve the award of construction contract to the lowest responsive bidder, Copper State Paving and Construction LLC, in an amount of up to $528,143. And like I always do, where did 70 cents come from? I love these figures.
Okay, I'll second it.
Thank you. Clerk, will you please call the vote?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Items 3, or C, consideration of approving the purchase of 4 pickleball courts from General Acrylics via Mojave contract number 150-GAI3-0201 in the amount of $117,836.84. Mr. Whitty.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I know you've had before you a number of different times discussions related to this particular park parcel that's under development. This would be one of the 3 amenities that we're bringing to that site, and we're very excited to see that pickleball is coming into our inventory. And so with that, we have a Mojave contract with General Acrylics. They're a provider located down in the valley that provides this as one of their main areas of expertise. They also do athletic fields and other court surfaces. Staff is recommending to you this Mojave contract for your approval, and we'll be installing 4 courts, inclusive of nets, fencing, as well as then also 6 lighting fixtures for evening play. If approved, we'll begin that process as soon as possible and have these ready in July for play.
Great.
I hope it's as big a relief to the rest of you as me that pickleball people got their wish and they can spend their energy now for something else. These have been some of the most delightful people that I've encountered. It's just a privilege to talk to them, actually. I'm teasing a little bit because they're just so delightful and they're so excited and so happy that we're doing this. So
they are.
Great. With that being said, can we get a motion?
I'd like to make a motion. Motion to approve the purchase of 4 pickleball courts from General Acrylics via Mojave contract number 150GA130201 in the amount of $117,836.84.
Second that.
Thank you. Clerk, with a motion and a second, will you please call the vote?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Whitty. Moving on to item 10, comments from the public. Consideration and discussion of general unscheduled comments from the public. Those wishing to address the council need not request permission in advance. Any such remarks shall be addressed to the council as a whole and not to any member thereof. Such remarks shall be limited to 5 minutes unless additional time is granted by the mayor. At the conclusion of the unscheduled comments, individual members of the council may respond to the item addressed at the discretion of the mayor, or they may ask the town manager to review the matter or ask that the matter be placed on a future agenda. With that being said, come on up there, sir. You know how it goes. State your name, please.
I am back. My name's Clyde Pruitt. I'm trying to get our older neighborhoods back into shape with hopefully some help from code enforcement, and they definitely need help. I spoke to a code enforcement agent earlier this week, and I addressed some issues, and he goes, "I'm just too busy. I can't do that." We're failing somewhere. At one point in time, the town had 3 code enforcement officers, I believe. Now we're down to 2. We're not shrinking, we're only growing. We need more help. And I don't know what needs to be done besides me coming in every 2 weeks and, grabbing you guys by the ear and saying, you need to listen to me, but we seriously need to do something to revitalize the older neighborhoods, to get them up. The people that's been here for years and they think, it's the old days, I don't have to fix anything, I can just let it go. I don't want to have to spend $2,000 so I don't have to look at my neighbor's junk in their backyard. I have shared some photos with some council members, and they've seen what I have to deal with on a daily basis, and it's just not right. And it's not right that we don't have enough code enforcement agents or enough staffing. We're doing a lot of great things in the town of Prescott Valley, but we need to take and address this issue too. And I'm open for suggestions what can be done besides me driving around being junior code enforcement agent myself. Because when I call in or when I come down to the town civic center, I bring in a list, and I deal a lot with Fernando, and he knows when I come in with a list, they're legitimate complaints, but they don't have time to come out and actually follow up on them necessarily. Just like when I caught one of the agents the other day, he was out for something else. I happened to catch him when he was getting out of his truck and said, "Hey, can you look at this?" And that's when he's like, "You gave me 30, 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to follow up on that. How can you give me more stuff?" And I don't know what needs to be done, but the town seems to be failing. And I hate to say that the town's failing, but it seems like they are as far as following up on code enforcement. And I had an issue with a neighbor. They were out of compliance last year. I kept asking code enforcement, what's the status on my neighbor? What's the status? Oh, it's an open case. I can't do anything about it because it was under the other agent's jurisdiction before they switched territories, I guess you would say, because they switched zones where they take care of. And he thought it was an open case under the other field agent. Come to find out, the case has been closed since somewhere around the first of the year. Nothing's been done to the property. And it's just terrible that you can't sit out and enjoy. The reason we're up here for the fresh air, beautiful sunsets, and, you know, the cool weather, we're not sweating to death like the people are in the valley already. And we're up here to enjoy stuff, but it's hard to enjoy when you got to look at, you know, a trash heap next door to you. So any suggestions, comments, I'm open to whatever can be done. I'm here to try to get it figured out.
Sorry, I appreciate you coming, believe it or not. I mean, coming here and speaking to us, that's great. I believe Mr. Tarkowski will have some words to add along. I know you guys have spoken before, and
we have
the challenges that exist, and I understand that, and we'll continue to work in a fluid manner to try to rectify whatever situation we have going on.
I know we need to budget for a lot of different things, but I think somewhere along the way we need to look at the budget as far as getting more field agents for the township. And I'm not sure who, I'm new to all this, but I'm trying to do what I can to get Fernando and them as much help as, you know. So you tell me what else I need to do, but so we can try to get some more staffing or something so they're not so overwhelmed. So when you say, hey, can you look at this? They don't tell you, I can't, I'm too busy.
Sure, no, I understand your frustration. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anyone else? That being said, move on to item 11. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Can we have a second?
I'll second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Yes. This May 1st and 2nd.
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks, everyone, for coming out.